I'm going to demonstrate the long tail cast on for left-handed knitters. The first thing you want to do is figure out how much yarn you need for the tail. And I do this one of two ways. The first method is to go by how long the piece that you're casting on is. So for example, if your piece is 10 inches wide, you need 3 times that length for the tail, so you need 30 inches. The other way to do it is to take your needle and your yarn and you wrap it around 10 times or so. And however many times you wrap the yarn around, that length of yarn that it took will more or less tell you how far 10 stitches will be. And then you can use that length to, say, measure out 30 stitches or something. So the first thing you do, or the first thing I do for the long tail cast on, is I start with a slip knot. Some people have other methods because they don't like the little knot at the beginning, but that doesn't bother me. So make a slip knot and you put that on your needle. Then with the tail in the front, you take your thumb and your index finger and you put them between the 2 yarns. Grab on to both yarns with your remaining fingers, or probably more comfortably for me it's my ring finger and little finger. Then I put my thumb and index finger between those two, spread them apart, and you get this sort of triangle. Then rotate your hand so that you get a cross of yarn around your thumb. Okay, it should look like this. This is the beginning, this is how you start every stitch, every cast on stitch of long tail. Now you take your needle and you go under and up through that loop that's around your thumb. You bring your needle back towards your index finger and you go pick up that yarn that's around your index finger. And you bring your needle forward through the loop that's on your thumb and you drop the loop off your thumb. And then you use your thumb and your forefinger, your index finger, to cinch up the yarn onto the needle. And you don't want to do it too tightly. In fact, sometimes you might want to go up a needle size when you cast on so that you have a nice loose cast on. So again, you start with the yarn in front, the tail of the yarn in front. Put your thumb and index finger between the yarns, split them apart, get to the position, go under the loop, up into the loop, around the back, pick up that yarn, bring it through the loop, and drop the loop, and then tighten. Once more, up through the loop that's around your thumb, go pick up the yarn, and it doesn't really matter which direction, but I think most consistent directions I've seen are from left to right, and you should be consistent on which direction you go. Pick up the yarn and bring it forward through the loop, drop the loop, and then cinch it up. So we'll just do a few more, and you can see how you can get a rhythm. I'll slow it down a bit. There, to the back, through the loop, back through the loop, and then tighten. And you'll find that you'll get a rhythm, and it's a pretty quick cast on. It's a very common cast on. Many patterns that you see will have you start with the long tail cast on. And it has a little bit of stretch, so it's a really good all-purpose cast on. Now, one thing to point out is that you see that what you end up with are these little diagonal lines, and on the other side you have little bumps. And for a left-handed knitter, when I think even for a right-handed knitter, the very first row that you knit is actually going to be the purl side. So in this case, if I'm going to start knitting as a left-handed knitter, this is the direction I'm going to go put my needle into, and this is the purl row. So remember that when you start, that this is your knit side and this is your purl side of the long tail cast on. So I hope that's helped some left-handed knitters out there. Thanks.